This training video is brought to you by K-Alliance. K-Alliance provides high-quality instructor-led training videos for desktop, IT, and soft skills. Visit us online at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something new. Real videos, real learning, real success.
In this lesson now, we want to talk about creating custom rules in Operations Manager. So specifically, we'll look at the different types of rules that we can create, then targeting rules and monitors at application components and at computers, and then ultimately, how do we generate alerts so that we can tie this back to our problem management. Now, the types of rules in Operations Manager. First of all, let's remind ourselves, Operations Manager, as a part of the System Center suite, its job is to monitor systems, servers, hardware, whether it's Linux or Windows or even network devices. The job of the Ops Manager is to keep track of what's happening and alert us if necessary. In some cases, it's just monitoring and keeping track of the general health of the environment. When there are problems, when there are issues, performance-related monitoring, but also alert generating monitoring. Now, this is all accomplished through rules and monitors. Right now we're focused on rules, and there are several different types of rules that can be created. So alert generating rules. This would be a simple rule that basically looks at a number of different things that it could look at. One example would be, let's look at the event log, the application log on a Windows server, and I might be looking for a very specific event. And should that event ID, let's say it's event ID 1002, should that happen, we know that that's a bad thing and we're going to generate an alert. So we're going to capture the information, some key information out of the event, and we're going to send it as an alert up to the Ops Manager server, which will place it into the Ops Manager database. So the alert is not emailing you, it's not notifying you. The alert is an Ops Manager element that gets placed in the database. Now, from there, you could subscribe, you could choose to be emailed, you could choose to have certain responses set up, but that's different. The actual alert is something that goes into the database. Now, in the Ops Manager console, we can see all of our alerts, and we can look at them and read the information. And tied to all of these rules and alerts is a bit of knowledge about what the problem is and what the resolution might be. So an alert generating rule. Another type of alert generating rule would be one that maybe is tracking performance. And we're looking for a specific performance threshold. Should that performance threshold be met, like a certain amount of memory utilization on a process or a certain amount of CPU utilization on a server, should that threshold be met, we'll generate an alert. So now we know about it. Now we have to decide what our thresholds are so that it really is alert worthy. But the point is, these are the types of rules that we can create. When we create rules, they make their way down to the agents, which is the service that's running on every single server in your data center. And the servers, the agent on those servers, will begin to track that rule and perform the monitoring that's necessary based on that rule. Other kinds of rules, we have collection rules. We might just want to collect event information. Typically, a collection rule is collecting performance-related data, almost like a perfmon counter, right? Like, let's track the CPU utilization every 5 minutes. Let's track the memory utilization or network packets or things like that. So we're collecting information, and then we grab that information and upload it into the Ops Manager database. You can also have timed command rules. This would be where we want to run scripts on a certain timeline, as an example. Certain things that need to happen on a regular schedule. So as opposed to an alert rule that's looking for something specific to happen, in this case, it just runs a script every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, once a day, whatever it might be. And so that'd be a timed rule. Now, ultimately, what we have to do is we have to target rules and monitors. Now, the difference between a rule and a monitor is a rule is looking for something very specific and then does something. A monitor tracks the health of a machine. So it's monitoring for certain things that might want us to call the system as healthy or unhealthy. So a monitor can move a computer's health to a state of unhealthy, but then can also move it back to a state of healthy should the issue be resolved. Whether you're creating a rule that triggers something or a monitor that changes the health state of something, either way, they can be targeted to either objects, like a database, or a computer. An entire computer could be a type of object. So we target them. Why do I do that? Well, I might want to target it to a subset of computers in my environment. So I've created a very special rule that is going to generate an alert when something happens. Well, if that rule only applies to Exchange servers, then I should target that rule to a group of computers that have been grouped together, and it's all of my Exchange servers. So we're targeting them. The other thing that I could do is I could target a rule to an object class, like database object class. So it's not just about which computers, it's every computer out there that might have one of these database objects on it. And then the rule is in effect. So rules can really be targeted at various different objects so that we're not overwhelming every single computer in our environment trying to follow every single rule. The computers, the agents, will only follow the rules that are targeted to them. And then be aware of inheritance of these classes, because if I target a rule or a monitor to a particular class of object, that actually might affect more objects than you realize. There's an inheritance in the class structure of these objects.
It's time for yet another pop quiz. What kind of rule would I use for collecting performance data? Would it be A, an alert generating rule, B, a collection rule, C, a timed command rule, or D, a monitor? And the answer is B, a collection rule. Collection rules are the ones where we can go in and collect information. It could be events, but it could also be performance-related data. So we collect it up and we can run performance reports on our systems.
We hope you enjoyed this preview video. Please click on the like button below if you did, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to visit us at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial today. You could learn a lot in a week.